Welcome back to Central Valley Talk. It's October 22nd, 2020. I say that to put everything in perspective, because if you look back in history, Fresno and the Central Valley were besieged by smoke coming from the mountains. We've got the big corona pandemic going through. Everything's just crazy right now. And on top of all of that, chaos, or things outside our control, we have elections coming up in a week or two. Tonight we're having a debate between Biden and Trump, and but there's all kinds of elections, from city council to supervisors to Congress, Senate, and not just here in the Valley, all over the United States. But to catch up a little on what's going on from his perspective, we've invited from the Green Party, Richard Gomez. Welcome, Richard.
Thank you, Mike. Thank you very much. And once again, I got to thank you. You are literally one of the only people that will put the Green Party on the air and let the people decide. I mean, right or wrong or whatever, at least he's putting them on. Big corporate media doesn't want to. Even the small, not even the nonprofits anymore are willing.
Yeah, I can't believe that. I mean, isn't it better to hear all points of view?
Yeah.
Even someone who didn't like Hitler or someone, Alan Cranston, our U.S. Senator, took Hitler's book, Mein Kampf, and he distributed it. He goes, you guys got to read about this crazy guy who's coming up in Germany. You hear all sides,
He did it back then. I mean, not like in the 80s when he was a senator.
No, he got sued by Hitler before Hitler was a big guy. But also, not only is it important to hear all sides, but the Green Party has a bunch of great ideas.
We're literally before Bernie. The Green New Deal, Medicare for All was started long ago, but we've been like the first political party backing it since over 20 years. Proportional representation, ranked choice voting. In fact, finally, the state of Maine has ranked choice voting for all of their candidates. It's incredible. I mean, 20 years ago, 2000, when Gore, although he won Florida, he lost to the Supreme Courts. All the Democrats had to do was institute a ranked choice voting. No more of this boiling talk ever again.
Now, I want to talk to you about ranked choice voting, the presidential election, and a bunch of other stuff. But back to this main theme of why we should let everybody talk. You guys have had these great ideas for 20 years, and then the Johnny-come-latelys come along, AOC, and maybe even Bernie. I don't know where he was in the beginning. But isn't that good that you guys are laying this out? And, I mean, even the Democrats or Republicans steal parts. You're getting your agenda through.
Well, that's historical. Generally, they'll steal good ideas because the Democrats and the Republicans that don't have any ideas. Right. But if they hear something that gets some reaction. For example, most of our ideas have 70 to 80% approval from people. Yeah. People love the idea. Medicare for all. Hey, that's a great idea, because that way I won't have to worry about getting in some horrible accident or some disease or sickness and lose the home and the family be out on the street. You don't have to worry about that with a Medicare for all. We can do it. It is possible. But Democrats and Republicans are, oh, no, too scary. Yeah. They like their buddies and their friends in the medical industry to make their profit. I mean, this is what Obama did. Yeah. After he got elected, everybody was thinking, great, we have Medicare for all. Instead, he opened up the door for the executives and the lobbyists to fly right in to the White House, and he closed the door on many people. I can't think of her name right now. She did lose somebody recently, but an advocate for Medicare for all. And that door was closed to them. They were not even listened to, even though Obama was supposed to do all these wonderful things. Instead, he eventually turned to something called Romney Care.
From Massachusetts. When he was governor of Massachusetts.
Absolutely.
Well, I'll say this. I'll say, and why it's important to let the Green Party speak. You're kind of the conscience for all these parties. I mean, everybody says, we should have lower carbon emissions. I mean, everybody thinks that. But the difference is how we go about it, how, like some people, I don't want to mention the President of the United States who says, oh, there's no science for that. But you guys are out there hammering like our conscience. And So it's how we get there, that's what's in dispute most of the time.
Well, I like to think that our conscience is doing a little bit more, but it seems like it's being ignored. Lowering the carbon is important because we are going over already what we need to live. We are destroying the quality of our air. We're losing water. The value of our water that all life depends upon is degrading. And so this is very important. It has been important for at least 20 years. And where are the major parties? They don't care. They really don't want to talk about it too much. They did come up with a carbon tax thing, but that's not good enough. And that's the problem. They love to say, they love to steal our ideas, but they're not willing to go the extra step to make one, to be as serious about it, to help bring down carbon quicker, because we're running out of time.
Yeah,
and that's horrible.
Well, let's start at the top of the ticket, Green Party.
Howie Hawkins, the presidential candidate. Angela Walker, vice presidential candidate.
They're on the ballot in California?
They are on the ballot in California as well as 30 other states. So
well, I tell you, some people say they don't like Trump. Some people say they don't like Biden. Is there a choice?
Yes, actually most people don't like Trump or Biden.
Yeah.
But most people decide not to bother to vote. Walk away from it. I'm asking you people, don't walk away. Remember, although this may be about within a week or two of the election, remember, almost half the people that are going to vote or not going to vote are still out there. They still have an opportunity to make the difference in this election and maybe in this life, their lives, the lives of their children, their grandchildren, and their children. I mean, it is in your hand. You can do it. And I'm merely suggesting that you vote Green because, well, I think it's the best party there is.
And now, if you don't like Trump and you don't like Biden, this election could be this close. And if the difference is made by Green Party voters, then Green Party is significant. But if they stay home, I don't mean Green Party voters, voters who would vote for the Green Party. If you stay home, you're not going to be significant and not have your voice heard in the election.
Absolutely. I mean, I don't know how to express this as much as I can. The idea of voting, I know it's not the greatest idea, and I know we don't have the greatest system in the world, but right now it is an opportunity for you to make your voice heard. I mean, let's face it, corporate media is expecting to be a little bit of a dogfight and everything. And, of course, they're blaming us, even though in recent elections where they claimed that, if all those people didn't vote for them, well, they could have said the same thing about the Libertarian candidate, but they don't.
Right.
They somehow expect us to simply stop, turn around, and bow to whoever the Democratic Party candidate is. That's ridiculous. We have a better way, a better option. We can make this a better world, but we've got to hear from you. You need to be that voice. It's up to you. So please, one, go out and vote, especially here in Fresno. It's really relatively easy. You should have your ballots by now. If you don't, contact Fresno County Elections Department and say, where's my ballot? Ask them if you're registered. Talk to them, straighten it out, and when you get your ballot, fill it out. And of course, I'm thinking Howie Hawkins.
Well, let me talk about filling out the ballot. Let me just say this. I got mine in the mail. I filled it out. I didn't trust mailing it back. I sealed it in the envelope, signed it, took it in, and within a day I got a text saying, we got your ballot and it will be counted. There's ways they won't count it, like if my signature doesn't match or something.
That's true.
So I felt so confident this time. Taking my ballot right down there. And if you lose your ballot or you don't want to, you go down there and give you another ballot.
Absolutely. Yeah. Well, they'll check your name and everything. I mean, they're not just going to hand it out to anybody like lollipops because they want to make certain. But also the best part, just down the street over here, you've got those big ballot things. Yeah. You know, that's an official one. Go to the official ones. Do not go up. I mean, if somebody... For
example, here in the Tower District right there with Sean and Olive, there's a big one. It says official Fresno County.
Absolutely. Go to the official ones. Don't give in to some other big boxes. I mean, all these ballots in Fresno County are the responsibility of Brandy Orth. So if there's something going on, she'll want to know. But if you put it in the official box, like the one down the street, it's going to be fine. It's going to get counted. And it's very possible your voice can be heard, but it's up to you. I mean, I can stand up here and talk for like 100 hours. Yeah. Well, maybe not so many.
Well, let me ask you this. I want to finish on the presidential election, then a couple more topics for you. Again, tell us who the candidates are, why people should vote for them, etc.
Howie Hawkins is a presidential candidate. He's actually one of the original New Dealers, or excuse me, the Green New Dealers. He wrote it over 10 years ago. The idea of the Green New Deal is where people's needs are met and the limitations of the earth are acknowledged. Because, well, we need to survive, especially right now in the coming years. We're going to need to survive the next few years, maybe even more. We have a pandemic, we have economic problems, and so many other problems that can be resolved. Like I mentioned, health care. We're going to be doing it. Because don't expect, the Democrats haven't, they don't want to do it. So don't waste your time on them. But you have that opportunity to make that happen. And Howie's been running, yes, he's been running for years as a Green Party candidate, specifically New York. He's from Syracuse, governor, and many other of those cities. Because for many of us, we have to continue to run. We have to remind people.
Now, so Howie Hawkins, if you want to vote Green, or if you don't want to vote for Trump or Biden, Howie Hawkins is a good alternative. Now, you kept saying this term that I never heard before, a different kind of voting in Maine?
Yes, it's called ranked choice voting.
Ranked choice. Okay.
Yes, we've been advocating it for years. In fact, there are other couple of states, I believe in Colorado, might be actually voting on it this coming election year. But the idea of a ranked choice voting is that you vote your first choice, your second choice, and your third choice.
Okay.
What this means, if the first choice doesn't get a 50% plus one majority, that means they take the last person, they remove their first place votes and take their second place votes and mix it up with the other two candidates. The idea is, since those votes are going to be gone, but they're going to be added, and whoever gets the majority, 50% plus one, will automatically win. There's like, today we have primaries, and then we have the general election. We won't need that anymore. Just one election. I've heard for years Brandy telling me, oh, the Board of Supervisors always complaining about the cost of elections. There you go, saving yourself at least a cool $1 million.
Do it all on one ballot.
Pretty much.
It's all computerized anyway.
Yeah. It's very simple. The issue is you simply got to choose your first choice, your second choice, and your third, or whatever, whatever the amount of candidates there are.
Now, what about, you said maybe a Green Party candidate might be doing well in Maine?
Actually, yes. Lisa Savage. She's a great woman. She recently retired as, believe it or not, a school teacher. Mm-hmm. There are a lot of school teachers out there.
They make good
evidently, yes.
Politicians.
But she's a Green Party candidate in a sense, although the way the system over there, they actually kicked her out of that, and she has to run as an independent. But everybody who sees her program realizes she's a member of the Green Party, and that's who she supports. And that's her ideals that matches with the 10 key values of the Green Party. And like I said, we believe she has a great chance of joining the Senate just in time.
The United States Senate.
Absolutely,
wow.
The big time.
Can you imagine?
Mm-hmm. We're hoping. Well, we also have a few other people. Here, there is someone from San Jose, as well as a couple of people down in the L.A. area. I believe it's Margaret Villa and Tonko. I can't think of his first name. Forgive me.
What kind of offices are they up for?
Congress. Yeah, both are for Congress, I believe. Oh, wait a minute, the City Council, 6. And there's also one who's Aiden. He's running in Berkeley for the mayor. So if you live in Berkeley and if you happen to be down here for fun, but you have your ballot, you may want to, I would suggest that you vote for him because he's a great guy.
Okay. Now, last thing, we're really out of time, but nobody gives Richard any chance to come talk, so we're going to let him talk just for another minute. If somebody's watching and say, I need to get involved with the Green Party, I want to get involved in the Green Party of Fresno County, where do they start? I see there's a Facebook page, Fresno County Greens, and facebook.com/Fresno County Greens. That's a good place to start?
Absolutely. There's also a phone number I can give out.
Okay.
I don't mind. It's area code 559. I am from Fresno. Yes, it's true. The numbers are 800-5996. I know
800-5996. That rings to you?
Yes, that rings directly to me. I'm always kind of strange because all of a sudden I get this 800 number. I actually get people calling me from different parts of the state. It's like I'm supposed to tell them what kind of foods that they're good. You know, it's like check and call 1-800 number, and you too can find out how much value of your food is or whatever, or these chips or stuff.
Yeah. So
it's
similar number.
Kind of funny. I thought they were all reserved.
Well, there you go. If you want to get involved in the Green Party, by the way, you don't have to be in the Green Party. You can still be a Democrat or a Republican and still get involved in the movement, because there's a lot of good ideas there, and there's a lot of information to be spread, science that certain people aren't spreading properly.
Also, I'm glad you reminded me of that. I just wish, actually tonight at 5:30 at Eaton Plaza, there is an event coming up. Forgive me, Gloria, for I cannot remember the name. Gloria Hernandez, as well as the Brown Beret, they are presenting an event. It's every October 22nd. This is for the 15th year. It's in memory of those who were killed by our police department. We've been trying to fight, and the Green Party's been fighting for local commissions to keep them, from going too far. It's amazing because our police get so much money, but they keep asking for more. In one meeting, somebody was suggested that they get tested every so often, like in sports and everything, for drugs and everything.
Oh, I see, yeah.
And a couple of people said, hey, that sounds like a great idea. How much extra will you pay us? And then the union guy jumped in and said, no, that's it. We don't want anything to do with that.
Yeah,
I mean,
of course.
That's our problem. That's what we need, people out there to get excited about. So like I said, at 5:30 p.m., Eaton Plaza.
Great, very good.
And
I just want to end up with this by saying, whatever party you are, whatever is your background, whatever your beliefs are, it does not hurt to hear another point of view. And Richard Gomez always has a good point of view, and we appreciate you taking the time to do that. You're very brave to do it.
Well, thank you. Thank you very much once again, Mike Briggs, for allowing the Green Party to be on the air. As also Mike over here, who's playing with the knobs and the buttons and everything.
Makes us look good.
Absolutely. And before I forget, I want to remind everybody that the people of Bolivia, the voters of Bolivia, recently voted out their authoritarian, violent, and cruel government system. They voted them out, so it's possible to do it here. It's up to you.
It's up to the voter. Richard Gomez from the Green Party of Fresno County is our guest. He gave us his own direct phone number, which is 559-800-5996. And just go get more information, facebook.com, Fresno County Greens.
Or gp.org.
gp.org.
greenparty-org.org. Excuse me.
All right, we'll be back with more Central Valley Talk right after this.
Thank you very much.